All right, time now for race 2 of the Fujitsu weekend. This is, of course, the development series, but this is a chance to say that you have won a race at Bathurst. Yesterday, David Russell took out race 1 ahead of Steve Owen, the championship leader. It's back on again. 6 drivers here who are doing double duty. Let's hand you over to our commentators. A man who's also got a fair amount of duties this weekend, Cam McConville with Aaron Noonan.
Thanks, Matty. David Russell, as you mentioned, a winner yesterday, but Cam got a little bit of a present at the end of the race. A fine, $5,000 with 2.5 suspended to the end of the year for not maintaining 80 kilometres per hour when the safety car lights went off. That will be in his mind today if we have a safety car.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can see on the front row with Steve Owen, who has been the speedy man up here, but he didn't get pole yesterday in qualifying. Rodney Jane there in 7th. So that fine, half of it suspended, but I think a win, you kind of forget about those things, to be honest.
Tim Blanchard starts 14th, had a drama yesterday. We saw him in the fence at turn 2. Ben Barker, the Australian Formula 3 championship leader, making his V8 debut. Adam Wallace in a bit of a famous car that we discussed briefly before. That's Greg Murphy's 5-minute penalty car from Bathurst here a few years ago. So we'll keep the Portaloos all shut for Adam here this weekend, I'd say, with that one.
And it's been a mammoth effort from Drew Russell and his team. Of course, he had that incident at the top of the mountain yesterday. Severe damage to that car. They have pretty much replaced everything just forward of the rear wheels backwards. So it's been a huge task. An enormous thanks must go to the TAFE mechanics. Drew's father Wayne said they couldn't have done it without them, and he'll of course start from the rear of the grid in this race.
Thanks, Bryony. Bryony Ingson in pit lane for the second race of the Fujitsu V8 Supercar Series, and they've been pretty busy with Brad Jones Racing built cars. That's one of the ex-BJR Falcons. That car would not be in the race without the NRMA Smash Repair team. They do a stunning job.
Oh, absolutely awesome job, Noons. And they were pretty busy last night. And, of course, Scott McLaughlin in the Fujitsu car for Stone Brothers. Unfortunately, his car, it was in the queue to be fixed, but they couldn't quite get it done properly. So he will be a non-starter here.
There's Aaron McGill lining up on the grid for his 40th round in the Fujitsu Series. He takes the record from Mark Howard this weekend. It's a very special weekend for Aaron McGill. He'll start from 16th, so it's David Russell on pole in the Jayco Falcon. He'll drive with Jonathan Webb tomorrow. Steve Owen, of course, has the big job. He'll pair with Jamie Whincup, and his focus now is on the Fujitsu Series. Green flag at the back, set to go at Bathurst for 14 laps. 150 points on the line. Love hearing V8 supercars on the rev limiter. Paul Morris from the second row makes a stunning start in the background. Paul Fiore's gone nowhere, but Steve Owen sneaks around the outside. He leads up Petters Mountain straight, and Drew Russell starting from pit lane.
Yeah, Russell David Russell, that is, just had to lock the inside front tyre. Owen really squeezed him there. And look at this, Blanchard trying to come through the field as well. But Russell was the big loser there, lost a lot of momentum out of turn 1. Now into turn 2.
Big move round the outside of Aaron Russell. David Russell, no relation, we should point out, back to third. Morris is second, then Nick Percat, then James Moffat, then Chaz Mostert, Formula Ford Series leader, finished 6th yesterday. His first ever V8 supercar start. Stunning drive.
Oh, look, I think it's very impressive. He's the Formula Ford Championship leader, and I do the driving standards for Formula Ford, and I can tell you he is a talent, and he will make his way into the main game. He's already decided that's what he wants to do. He's not going to go to Europe. On board with Moffat. Whoa! Percat, Taylor into McPhillamy Park. Not a place you want to lose the rear end of the car. And another driver making his V8 supercar debut this weekend, young Nick Percat in the Bundy car. He's another guy that we will definitely see in the main game. He's a real talent.
Last year's Formula Ford champ's been under the wing of Walkinshaw Racing for a few years, back with Tim Blanchard in the Syrah May Falcon. In the traffic, Ben Eggleston in front. Here comes a move. Is there a gap? Yes, there is.
Now he's on the back of Rodney Jane. He got a fairly slow run there, diving under Ben. So let's just have a look down Conrod Straight, 5th gear. Fairway back, but he will slowly pull into that slipstream or the toe of Rodney Jane, who's actually having a bit of a look up the inside into the chase here himself.
Making a move on Daniel Gillison by the looks of things, and Percat said with this car, they're trying to make the steering feel a bit heavier so he can feel that front tyre a little bit more to know what it's doing.
Well, I actually drove this car at a ride day a week or so ago at Winton. That car nicks in, and you're right, the steering is quite light, and across the top of the mountain you need to be able to feel the front tyre. So look, I think Nick has only raced an Aussie racing car here before, so he's doing an excellent job. Ben Eggleston there, headlights ablaze. Another Walkinshaw prepared car. And Tim Blanchard, a great effort already inside the top 10. Rodney Jane is next on his side, so look at that, no shortage of horsepower coming out of that Falcon.
These two cars from the Sonic Motor Racing team, both ex-888 Vodafone chassis. And Rodney Jane putting a move on Daniel Gillison, the young Kiwi. Oh, that was tight. He's driving a car from Greg Murphy Racing, just his second round in the Fujitsu series. Has acquitted himself well, but he's under the gun now. Blanchard's got his nose in front. You've got to get the move done there, and he does it nicely.
Cars are quite unloaded as they go into this particular part of the track. The cutting, very easy to lock the inside front tyre. So that was a pretty good effort by young Blanchard. Headlights on there around the outside where the car would have felt quite flighty and unstable. Now he's trying to get past Jane.
Building speed across the top of McPhillamy Park, and then to be anti-skyline, dropping down. Of course, Blanchard, young, emerging driver. Rodney Jane, very busy with business and the like. Racing's a bit more of a hobby, but both part of the same team.
Yeah, look, Rodney will know that. There's no point even trying to hold him up, but this is a great battle. Moffat on the back of Percat. Percat got a great start. And let's see the horsepower of that FPR prepared Falcon. He's about to pull out of the toe and have a look up the inside. This will be big, and he gets through.
That's for fourth. So Moffat makes a move. Of course, this is the older model BF Falcon. He'll be in the FG with Steve Richards tomorrow. Owen, Morris and David Russell, 1, 2, 3. Nice run off the elbow. A little bit more top end from the FPR built engine. It slips on through in what's been a pretty tough weekend for James. They haven't quite had this car pretty much all season set up how they quite want it. But Owen's flying 2-minute 9.79 on that first flying lap. He leads the way. The championship leader has got his nose in front of the mountain. It's going to be hard to chase in the next 12 laps. This is the run. Conrod Straight in race 2 of the Fujitsu V8 Supercar Series. And David Russell, yesterday's race winner, has been closing in on Paul Morris, having a look down at the chase. Not quite close enough, but it's got some really good pace in this ex-FPR Falcon that's run by Matthew White's team. And that car is very, very quick, but Paul Morris getting plenty of miles this weekend. Oh, a little bit of rear lock, and Steve Owen's gone off too. And he'd gone fastest to the second split by a second, and you know what that's done? That throws away the round when David Russell was going to have to pass Paul Morris to be a chance. Now he doesn't have to.
And Paul Morris leads this motor race. I was just saying that Paul's racing in the Utes this weekend, of course, Fujitsu, and in the Bathurst 1000. Oh, Ben Eggleston pits in the City Gate Mount Panorama entry with big damage.
This is a replay. This is why. Gets into the chase, gets into the back of Daniel Gillison. And around goes the young Kiwi. First time at Bathurst, has done a very good job in the VE Commodore. So in too deep, lock the rears.
Yeah, and it was just noticed that Paul Morris had a little bit of rear lock, and it happens down there. You get quite a bit of brake cool off. They get a big heat up into the chase, and quite common in a V8 supercar to have a little bit of that rear locking towards the end of the stop. But I'm not sure. I mean, Steve Owen probably didn't need to be going that hard. He was 1.8 seconds up. Now he's back in P7.
And he was a second faster than the rest of them to the second split at the top of Conrod Straight. So he had this one well and truly in hand from a pace point of view. So it puts Morris in the lead, Russell in second. And Russell doesn't need to pass Morris to win the round. But nevertheless, a clean sweep at Mount Panorama, that's really tempting.
And he's looking racy too. Paul Morris knows he's there. David Russell has been in this championship, mind you, for quite a long time. He's come in and come out. This car definitely has history, but when you look at 6th place with Jonathan Webb at Phillip Island in the Phillip Island 500, pole here this weekend, he's partnering up with Jonathan Webb in the Mother Falcon again tomorrow, and he's certainly the form driver in the championship at the moment.
This is Chaz Mostert, who we mentioned in the car that Wayne Moles has been driving earlier in the year. He stepped out, given young Chaz an opportunity, and Chaz been getting a lot of help from Glenn Seaton in terms of how you look to get around this racetrack, and there's really no one better than a man like Seaton. We go with Tim Blanchard here into the chase. That's Steve Owen up in front in 7th place. And Owen needs to grab a couple of positions just to get back and stand on the podium. Don't forget, it's a round format still in Fujitsu Series. There's not separate podiums for separate races. It's an accumulation of points. And again, there's a problem.
I was just about to say there, Nunes, that he was dabbing the brake pedal all the way down Conrod. There was dab, 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 and then dabbing the brakes again. So clearly got a brake problem in that car, which is very bizarre, only 4 laps in.
And he's being told by the Greg Murphy Racing team to take it easy. Tell you what, he doesn't want this drama tomorrow.
No, definitely not. But I just noticed that how much the brake lights were going on down Conrod. And it's just blocked the rears. There's a bit of smoke coming out from under the car, possibly from the lock rears, but that's some sort of brake problem.
Well, we've been saying that this championship is pretty much his. He came into the weekend with a 204-point margin with 300 available for this weekend, but if he struggles to get more points, or indeed can't get to the finish, the championship's alive with 2 rounds to go. I'll tell you what, this race is alive. Morris and Russell are being caught by James Moffat, who sits in 3rd spot. We haven't even gone halfway through race 2 of the Fujitsu V8 Supercar.